Are you about to start a business and throwing away the easiest money of your life every single day? Because most people starting a business, they think they need to create an offer from scratch. But there's a shortcut that most people miss. You already been solving problems. You just can't see what they're worth. 500, 1,000 or more. I've worked with over a dozen businesses and creators, and the ones who got their clients the fastest didn't create anything new. They took what they already were doing and already good at and packaged that. So in this video, I'm going to show you the 3 blind spots hiding your offer and the 1 question you need to ask to make it as clear as day. So you can skip the year I wasted trying to create something new. So when I first started my business, I spent an entire year stuck trying to figure out what to sell. Course, coaching, a 12-week cohort or whatever it was, and nothing felt right. Then one day I'm on a call with one of my sales buddies who's run multiple businesses. And he asked, what do you do when people ask for help? And I told him about the times where I helped people figure out how to make money from what they were already doing. And he goes, dude, that's your offer. And I remember feeling stupid. I've been doing that for free for months, and my offer was really just sitting there right in front of me. So 2 months later, I teased my offer a week before it's to be released to my email list. And I got my first client a week before my offer actually fully launched. So what I learned from the talk with my sales buddy here is that you don't have an offer problem. You have a flipping eye problem. If you need a buddy like my buddy helping you see what's actually worth making into an offer, then join my email list down below where I share tips and tricks each week. Right. So as we talked about, your offer is sitting right in front of you, but there's 3 blind spots blocking your view. Clear the blind spot and it'll be clear as day. So let's take a look at the first one. Blind spot 1, the familiarity curse. You think it's worth nothing because the work feels easy for you. My first client was a guy named Damien.
I saw results that I never thought I would have in such a short amount.
When we talked about building his offer, he kept saying, it's too basic. And everyone already knows this stuff about fitness. But when I dug deeper, I found out he's been helping family, friends of friends, getting into shape for free. Dealing with low self-esteem, procrastination, and self-image issues. I told him that what he was already doing was easily a $1,000 to $3,000 offer, and he was shocked because he said, it's so easy for me to do. And I said, exactly, that's why it's worth money. What takes 30 minutes for you to do would take your client days or weeks or months to figure out alone. Let's say you're a chef, for example, who can taste a dish and instantly know it's missing. You're tasting a pizza and you go like, this pizza needs pineapple. And straight to Alcatraz you go, never to be set in society again. Jokes aside, what feels easy for you can be worth a ton of money for the right market. So that's blind spot number 1. What comes easy to you feels worthless to you because it is easy for you. What's obvious to you is like magic for somebody else. And speed is a feature. Just because it takes you 30 minutes to do something doesn't mean it's worth less. Right, so that's blind spot number 1. Let's move on to blind spot number 2, which is the creation myth. You think you need to create something new to have an offer, like you have to reinvent the wheel to have an offer. And from my perspective, that's just the wrong way to go about it, because why not use what you're already good at and package that into an offer that you can make money from? So think of it like mining for gold. You know the gold is already there in the ground and you just have to dig it up so you can sell it to people. Creating an offer is kind of like the same thing. You have to not dig into yourself, but you have to dig deep to see what you're already doing and what you're already good at so that you can offer that to people in exchange for money. And when it comes to creating an offer, here's where most people overcomplicate it. An offer is simply you selling a transformation. And fancy as that sounds, it's really just you selling a solution to a problem that gets people closer to their desired goal. Let's say somebody wants to run a marathon and you sell a marathon specific coaching program. That's just you solving a problem for that specific buyer. So to summarize blind spot number 2, sell what you're already doing and good at. Don't make it complicated for yourself. An offer is simply solving a problem and selling the solution. So let's move on to blind spot number 3, the complexity bias. We kind of talked about it in blind spot number 2. Now let's go a bit deeper into it. You think if it's simple, it can't be worth money. And surprise, surprise, it can. But the dark side of this is that we tend to overcomplicate stuff then, to try to make it reasonable that we are charging whatever money it is. Let's say you have a $500 program and what you put into it doesn't feel like to you it would be worth that much. So we start to fill it up with all kinds of crap that really doesn't solve the problem any quicker. It's just like we have to kind of think that volume feels more valuable, and that's a problem. And take that from someone who's been doing that for far too long with my first offers I put out there. It was too much work, it made people confused, and my revenue sucked. So to put that into 3 pointers, complexity equals high risk on confusing your potential buyers. Simple is better. The easier it is for your buyers to implement what you sell, the better. So let's look at some examples here. Here's 3 different offers. $500 for a video hook audit plus 3 rewrites. $1,500 for a 90 minutes positioning session. $4K for a sales funnel optimization. And keep in mind, this is something you would need a certain level of experience to kind of charge these prices. This is not just something you put out there and hope for the best and that you can hustle your way to actually making it work. They're all simple and they all fix one clear problem. And I know what you might be thinking here. But my clients expect more. They'll think it's not enough. And that's the complexity bias talking. And that's exactly what's keeping you stuck in this blind spot. Here's a simple way to put out there what it is you're offering and the price. So this is a really simple way and really clear way of doing it. So you put in the problem you fix, you put in a time frame, and you put in your price. So it could be, for example, operation audit in 3 days for $5K, positioning session in 90 minutes for $2.5K, video hooks fixes in 48 hours for $500. So really simple, but I get it. When you're putting out your offer there, it's a crowded market. There's a lot of other guys competing for the same thing as you are. So a simple way to stand out from all your competitors is to add a without common pain point. And it could look something like this. Problem I fix in time frame without common pain for price. So let's take the positioning session, for example. Positioning session in 90 minutes without confusing your existing clients for $2,500 versus the old one that said positioning session in 90 minutes for $2.5K. So the difference here is that you are showing that you understand one of their objection or their concerns. And one of their concerns for somebody who's already running a business, having a revenue, is that they don't want to lose the clients they already have. And you doing a positioning session kind of messes with their whole existence right now. And they might ending up confusing or losing few clients. And that's the objection you're handling right here without confusing your existing clients. So that's just a way of standing out and showing that you understand your audience and your ideal client profile. So that's blind spot number 3. Now, how do you fix your eye problem so you can see through all 3 blind spots at once? And here comes the one question that's really simple and that have helped me a lot. What problem have I solved for multiple people that felt easy to me but hard for them? So let me show you this with a story. When Damien first came to me, he was trying to sell his coaching offer for $200 a month, but nobody bought it. And we kind of dug into why, and he asked this kind of question, or this is a sum up of all the conversation we had into this kind of question. What problem have I solved for multiple people that felt easy to me but hard for them? And what we came to is that the people he's been working with came to him because they had trouble sticking to a workout routine or a workout plan. And that's what he was helping them with. And it was easy for him. In one conversation, he could spot right away what was the deeper kind of problem they were trying to work around. And most of the time, it was not necessarily the fitness itself, but more or less their mentality. And he would spot that right away. So that became his new offer, helping people with not just the fitness, but a more holistic approach to being a healthy human, working both with the body, but also with the mind. So here's what you can do. Ask yourself that question. Write down the answer. If multiple problems pop up, pick the one where the gap is the biggest, where it feels easier to you, but the most painful for whoever you have been helping. That's your offer. Now, the next part here where people mess up is that when they answer, the answer is too vague. For example, I help people get in shape. That's very vague, and there's a lot of other people doing just that. So what you could do instead is something like this. I help people who know what their future selves looks like, but don't know how to get there. So you're kind of messing with they already have this picture of themselves out there. They just need help to get there. And this example is from when I was working with Damien. So I hope you can see the difference here. This one here is a lot stronger and driving on a lot of more psychological triggers than just this one, with which could be basically anyone. But this shows that you know what your audience or your ideal client profile is going through. And now you know how to see past the 3 blind spots that are hiding your offer. And just to sum it up, the first blind spot, the familiarity curse, what's easy for you feels worthless. Blind spot number 2, the creation myth, you think you need to create something. And blind spot number 3, the complexity bias, you think simple can't be valuable. So now you can take what you already know how to do, you can slam a price on that bad boy and you can sell it. But even with your offer out there and you know what to sell, here's a problem that most people run into. Once they see their offer, they still sound like everybody else trying to sell the same thing. So the potential buyers will probably say something like this, I'll think about it, instead of this is exactly what I need. And if you want help with that, then join my email list where I share how to make your offer sound different from every other person in your niche. Link down below.